is Firebird International Raceway in the desert outside Phoenix, Arizona. And once a year, the top professional touring nitro funny cars come here to compete, to feel the fury, the power, the drama, the fire in the pipe. Header flames 10 feet tall, ferocious dry burnouts, fiery launches. They're all part of the funny car experience of nighttime racing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Firebird International Raceway's Night of Thrills. A great night of racing in store for us here tonight. The fireworks are going off and we're just about ready to get underway with Nitro Funny Car action. Look at that, it's the Wienermobile leading off the parade here at Firebird tonight. Some of the top pro funny cars right behind them. Leading the parade is Johnny Force's Castrol GTX Oldsmobile, and directly behind him over a dozen of the nation's top fiberglass-bodied funny cars. These flip-top cars are wild at night. Wait till you see the fire here. So get ready. Hang on to your hat. Grab yourself a seat. The Nitro funny cars are just about ready to explode here at Firebird.
Are you ready?
Funny cars here tonight. It'll be Ron Sutherland's car he calls the Desert Rat. The stands are packed, the towers all lit up. We are ready for some exciting funny car action. The body going down on the Desert Rat. He's getting ready to make his burnout. It's Chris Lane behind the wheel. He's pulling up in the left-hand lane. His competition on the right side from nearby Chandler, Arizona is Mr. Johnny West. Nitro funny cars at night. The combination creates one of the most nerve-bending experiences in motorsports. What once was a peaceful night instantly becomes a battleground as volatile nitro flows through 4,000 horsepower engines. These are nitro-burning funny cars, the most dangerous forms of motorsport. Accelerate faster than just about anything. Weighing about 2,000 pounds, built out of chromoly tubing, covered with a fiberglass replica body of some late-model Detroit iron. Now these cars are powered by 4,000 horsepower, supercharged, fuel-injected nitro-burning racing engines. Now Lane stages himself up in those light beams that go across the track. So does West. The engines are very carefully, they're off. Side by side, look at those header flames shooting out of the pipes at night. West starts to pull ahead at the big end and takes the win. 571 at 246 miles per hour. Take another look at it. Awesome experience for everyone at the track. For the drivers, shooting headlong into the darkness demands an extra dose of courage. But for the fans, the thrill sparked by the sights and sounds of these powerful beasts is heightened even higher. The body comes down on the brand new Dodge Charger of Roland Leong, sponsored by Hawaiian Punch, driven tonight by Mr. Jimmy White. Now this is a real swooping piece of equipment. This body has spent many hours in Chrysler's wind tunnel and is a real aerodynamic piece. In the right lane, it's the Impulse Corvette. Adding into the fire of a ferocious burnout is smoke, a billowing cloud that obscures everything around it. The heat is back in the engines. The air again stings with nitro fumes. Burnout smoke once more hangs heavy in the air. They bark. They seem to explode into flame. Nothing in motorsports is as violent as the launch of a nitro funny car. Team owner Roland Leon brings his driver Jimmy White into the bleeds with his Hawaiian Punch Dodge. They're taking on the wild Impulse Corvette. Both drivers inching very carefully into those electronic staging beams. They're off, and the Hawaiian Punch goes up in a cloud of smoke. The Impulse brakes, and there goes Jimmy White on his way. Takes the win of 669, 221 miles an hour. In a flash, the cars ignite with header fire. For an instant, they seem to leap off the ground and hang motionless. But a moment later, they are under full power, screaming for the finish line. Fire up the next pair in the right-hand lane. The crowd favorite, John Brute Force, out of Yorba Linda, California. He'll be taking on Mr. Jimmy Murphy in the car he calls Holy Smokes. Okay, both cars fired and running, the body's coming down, and they're moving towards the burnout box in preparation for the burnout. Yeah, what a burnout! Force really smoking in this place! Look at the tire smoke pattern from Jim Murphy's car. Boy, what a pretty sight. Now compare it with John the Brute Force, the king of the burnouts. Starts making its way back towards the starting line. The driver with the roof hatch open will let those nitro fumes, that clutch dust, and all that tire smoke out of the driver's compartment. And hopefully to let some fresh air in so the driver can breathe. The body comes up on John Force's car so that crew chief Austin Doyle can go underneath and connect the second ignition system. They use one ignition system to do the burnout and two to make the actual run. John Harmson shakes hands with John Force, makes sure everything is ready, secures the roof hatch, and we're just about ready to race. Now Murphy is in the stage beam ready to go. Very carefully, crew chief Austin Doyle winds up John Force on the starting line. They're both in pre-stage. Now they move carefully into the staging beam. Murphy's in first. Here comes Force. They're off side by side off the starting line. Force smokes the tires. Murphy recovers and drives on around him. Holy smokes, what an upset here! Now at night you can tell who leaves the starting line first by how the header flames come out. Notice how the tree turns green and just instantaneously both drivers are on the loud pedal. side by side off the starting line, spewing sheets of flame into the air. More smoke the tires at the pedal. He saw the flames go down. He got back in it, but just couldn't recover fast enough. Murphy gets a big win here. The timing tower gives the signal to fire the next pair.
Okay, we all set now?
It'll be the Jam Air Special taking on the teacher's pet.
Jim, we're ready? You guys are ready? Let's go ahead and fire them up!
This is the beautiful high-tech Jam Air Special with John Martin. All the latest technology. He's got the computer, he's got the timers, he's got the hydraulics. He'll be taking on the seat-of-the-pants driver, Gary Dencham, and his teacher's pet. This is Gary Dencham. He calls his car the teacher's pet. Why? Because he's an auto shop teacher from Cerritos, California. Now, he runs this whole operation out of his back pocket. There's no big buck sponsor here. He can't afford the high-dollar computer. He can't afford the real trick clutch. He can't afford the dual fuel pumps that makes these cars go really, really fast. A lot of Dencham's crew are ex-students of his who like to come to the races and help him work on his car. Now, what Dencham lacks in money, he makes up in showmanship. He's considered, without a doubt, one of the best funny cars at night. Always putting big header flames into the nighttime sky. Atop the Christmas tree, light defining the quarter-mile challenge, light engulfing the cars, and for one car, the win light at the end of the tunnel. And that finishes up first round of Nitro Funny Car.
It's unreal. I've been coming for the last 3 years. I mean, it's unreal.
It's a lot of noise, it's fun, and it's good.
It's a little loud, but it's okay.
That's the best part of it, the noise.
I like to smoke big. Lots of smoke.
My kids race, and they got me interested in racing. In the last year and a half, that's all I do is come down here. It's fantastic. Nothing else like it. And for a man my age, I'm saying something.
Oh, it's fun, it's exciting. It's my first time out here. My friend said it was going to be boring, but it's really great. Chris Mitchell was wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raceway Park, Englishtown, New Jersey for the 20th annual Super Funny Car Spectacular, featuring Dominic Santucci and his Black Magic T-Bird.
Night racing, I think, is the most dangerous because you can't see quite where you're going down the other end in a lot of tracks. A track like Englishtown, of course you can, but you know these cars as well as I do. They get pretty spooky down there, and I think that you'll find out that in night racing, it's the most exciting, I think, for the spectator, but I don't think it's as exciting for the drivers in the car.
You've seen the best in the West from Firebird. Now here's some of the best East Coast flopper action. Chuck Etchell's the beautiful Future Force Beretta taking on Dominic Santucci's real pretty Black Magic T-Bird. They're staged, they're ready to go. Inching into the beams very carefully. They got a green and they're off, side by side. Etchell's had the pedal, Santucci's flying, he takes the win. A 577 at almost 255 miles an hour. This is Frank Kramberger, owner and driver of the Philadelphia Flyers, but he's known to his fans as Frankie the Flame.
It's dark. This thing's thumping and banging real hard. You close the body, it gets real dark, and plexiglass isn't the best. You can't see through it real good. These things shake a lot. It vibrates around a whole lot. And in the daytime, at least you can tell where you are on the track. At nighttime when you go out there and it starts to shake with the amount of clutch dust we have, you get disoriented. And it just, you can't really tell where you are anymore.
Burnouts complete, tire smoke and nitro fumes covering the track. They back up towards the starting line. Kramberger going up against an all-new Teacher's Pet car. Denham's new ride is a real pretty Ford Thunderbird. Kramberger, that's the old Philadelphia Flyer. He's got a brand new T-Bird on order with a beautiful Kenny Youngblood paint scheme. There seems to be a problem with Kramberger's car. It's really shutting him off. Englishtown starter Tommy Rusko gives Denham the single. He's going down on a bye run as Kramberger is pushed back towards the pits. Denham leaves the starting line like a rocket, straight as an arrow. A good pass for him. He cranks out a 576.
It's really difficult for us to try and, when we get out there 200-300 feet, if we have to make a mid-course correction, if I'm smoking the tires, I have to backpedal a little bit. it's a real challenge. That's probably what makes these race cars really exciting for us. Is no two runs are ever the same, and of course, getting her down to the finish line from A to B when you're kind of going through a tunnel, accelerating at a high rate of speed, just get your adrenaline up, and it kind of puts a little edge on it. It's a fine line to walk, and most people, you know, can never experience that. Of a kick, because when the blue flames are shooting up inside of the car and the car is accelerating towards the finish line, at night it's like driving into a closet at 280 miles an hour. It's like a dimension that nobody's even aware of experiencing and all that. But there's a few of us who do.
Brooklyn-born racer Jerry Caminito backs the beautiful Blue Thunder Oldsmobile back to the starting line. Staging very carefully. The start is the most important part of any drag race. They wait for the green. They get it, they're off. Caminito's out first and starting to lead. He's going for the eyes. He takes the win with a 6:17.
Drag racing, that to me has to be the greatest sport in the world. Where else can you come into the pits and watch these guys work on the cars and actually learn a little bit about the engines and the cars and actually meet the drivers?
It's worth all the work. It beats having a job for a living.
My first drag race was in 1965. My cousin took me, and I've been hooked ever since. To me, it's the greatest sport, but the one particular thing that makes this outstanding versus all the other sports is you can get in with the action. You can't do it with baseball, you can't do it with football or any sport, but you're right here with the drivers, and all the action is the greatest.
In a cockpit, he's looking out that little old tiny window. He's got 4,000 horsepower sitting staring him right in the face, and clutch dust and smoke. You give us speeds of over 200 miles an hour, and you add the fire and the flame and the fuel, nothing like it. Tire smoke never has been as exciting as it is at nighttime. Give me a nighttime race, and that's where it's at. Fire, smoke out of the pipes, cars on fire racing, there's nothing like it. Give me a hot dog, put me up in the stands, and I'll watch a show anytime. Daytime racing, I love it, but nighttime racing's even better.
Oldsmobile, taking on one of the baddest dudes around, John Bruce Force, in his Castrol GTXO. Force is the current track record holder here at Englishtown. R.C. Sherman like to put him away. They're staged, they're ready, they're off. And Force with a great hole shot. He's gone. Say goodbye, R.C. A 5:51 for the win.
Funny car racing, nighttime funny car racing, nighttime fuel funny car racing. That's what it's all about. I was raised on the streets of California, and I took my race car to the local strips like Irwindale, Lyons, and Orange County Raceway. And that's where I met the likes of Don Perdome, Tom McEwen, and Big Daddy Don Garlis. There was nothing like the spectacular of racing under the lights.
Okay, now firing up for the final round, here is the battle. It's between Roland Leong's Hawaiian Punch Dodge car taking on Gary Densham and his teacher's pet Pontiac. Jimmy White driving the Hawaiian into the burnout box, getting ready to do his burnout. And here comes the world's fastest school teacher, Gary Densham. This is it, the final round, and that Hawaiian Punch team headed up by Roland Leong is looking real strong here tonight at Firebird. Both cars now backing up towards the starting line, getting ready for the most important race of the night, the final round for Nitro Funny Car. Both of these drivers want to win this battle. Not only is it the money, but it's the glory and the bragging rights tomorrow. Gary Densham would love to go back to school and say, yeah, I blew the Hawaiian Punch car into the weeds last night at Firebird. Pulling into the pre-stage and then the stage beams. Here we go. We're setting and ready. They're both in. What a great side-by-side start. Anybody's race. The Hawaiian starts to pull ahead at the big end, takes the win with a great 5:54 elapsed time for Jimmy White. That's it from Firebird International Raceway. We hope you enjoyed Night of Thrills. A great big win for Jimmy White driving Roland Leong's car. A final round, 5:54, gets him the gold.